778 will set all your vehicle's problems to right. Fred does most everything your vehicle needs, including tires, brakes, shocks, struts, even major engine repair. Just bring your vehicle in and Fred's will provide a complete upfront repair estimate. And they'll stick to it. So you'll never be surprised when you get the bill like you've seen in the past by other car repair places. Fred's will carefully explain what needs to be done and only to the repairs you authorize. In a word, it's all about trust. See for yourself at Fred's Alignment and Service Center.
Good training, state-of-the-art equipment, and friendly people make Fred's the area's #1 car repair shop. Come see for yourself. Fred's Alignment and Service Center on North Central.
Hi, folks. Greg, your friendly garden guy here at Willow Ridge Garden Center. You know, you just can't beat the smell and authenticity of a real Christmas tree. You may choose a fresh-cut Fraser fir or a live Norway spruce that you plant after Christmas for that real old-fashioned Christmas tree experience. Come visit our open-air Christmas village featuring fresh homemade wreaths, fresh-cut Christmas greens, and roping. Come inside our Christmas shop for poinsettias and Christmas cactus. Let our friendly staff show you all our silk Christmas decorations. Shop our unique Christmas gifts for that hard-to-buy-for person. After all, Christmas is about giving, and you will find some of the best gift ideas right here at Willow Ridge. So for that one-of-a-kind, old-fashioned Christmas shopping experience for the whole family, come on down to Willow Ridge, where you can just smell Christmas coming. Call 865-481-3825 and get your hands dirty. It's good for you.
Hey guys, it's Mark from Rusty Wallace Hyundai. The temperatures are falling and so are the prices. Right now we have $5,000 off 2024 Santa Cruz and $6,000 off the all-new Santa Fe or Palisade. And all new Hyundais come with America's best warranty of 10 years, 200,000 miles, and 3 years free maintenance. So check us out at RustyWallaceHyundai.com because it's always a fun day at Rusty Wallace Hyundai.
As we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, the 3 generations of family at David's Abbey Carpet and Floors want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, filled with peace, joy, laughter, and of course, God's love.
You never know when life is going to throw you a curveball. Say you're involved in a traffic accident and you need some legal advice. Maybe you're released from your job for no reason. Or you suspect it's because you're getting older. You might know of someone whose marriage is on the rocks. Divorce is soon. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And Tuesday nights from 6 until 7, T. Scott Jones will be taking your calls and giving you legal advice. That's Tuesday evenings from 6 until 7, right here on your Praise 96.3.
Did you know that a lot of contractors are hiring people from out of town with no guarantee of their qualifications? Are you tired of going through temp services and getting unskilled labor? Keep jobs local and keep money in state. Partner with Local 102 for all your mechanical job needs. Skilled labor that's always improving with state-of-the-art training. Let Local 102 be the job source for the best in plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, and HVAC. Visit ualocal102.org to learn more about Local 102. Your goals equal our goals.
From the Banks & Jones Attorneys Play to Win Studios at banksandjones.com, this is your Praise 96.3, WJBZ FM, Seymour, Knoxville.
Praise 96.3.
The way to start your Saturday projects every week. It's Rick's House. Home improvement advice done right.
Good Saturday morning to you, and happy post-Thanksgiving. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and Rick's House coming to you live this morning. Good morning to everybody in there this morning. Jamie, Corey, Ron, good to see you. John, good to see y'all in there this morning. Appreciate that. Glad to have each and every one of you this morning as we spend a little time celebrating. Gina, good to see you, girl. Glad to have you in here this morning. So glad to have all you folks join us this morning. Hope you had a great and fantastic Thanksgiving. My nephew's joining me today. He's my partner in crime today. Yay, Wyatt. Say good morning to him.
Yes.
All right, there you are. Wyatt says good morning. We had a project we were working on yesterday, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to have to finish it up today. Vance, how was your Thanksgiving? I hope it was well.
Well, Thanksgiving was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, ours was too. It was. And Brian, good morning to you. We got the whole gang in here this morning, and so we're excited about having y'all with us. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Ours was really good too. We didn't do turkey this year. We had ham.
Oh, you lucky dog.
And of course we had it at Troy's house, which is White's dad, and so we had just us over there, and it was and the kids, and it was fantastic. We had macaroni and cheese and mashed taters, and Amy made my mama's dressing, which is her cornbread dressing. She made that, which is my favorite. We'll eat on that for a week. And
didn't she fix that for one of the grandbabies instead of you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm the number one grandbaby. Yes, she did. She fixed that for my other nephew, White's brother, Rafe. And then of course, White, tell him what you wanted, White.
Oh,
what you wanted and what you fought your dad over last night.
Me and Dad fought over them deviled eggs last night.
So, absolutely, them deviled eggs, boy. He was after him last night. He was. His dad told him to go to the kitchen and get the deviled eggs, and they'd sit down and eat some of them. Well, I was talking on the phone with him. Well, he was in the kitchen, stuffed them in his mouth as fast as he could before he had to go back to the living room to make sure that he got his fair share.
I'm thinking Wyatt may want to wait outside.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, he's live and loaded today.
Well, I'm glad he's in there with you and not in here with me.
He might want to come in there and sit with you in a
no,
little while.
I don't think so. The dog is enough.
That's what he said. He could blame it on time.
Yeah, we'll just blame it on her. How's that, Vance?
That's just mean.
Well,
besides, I'm sure hers smells better than yours.
Oh, come on, Vance.
No, we're headed down a path we can't go down. So yesterday, when Wyatt and I left the house this morning, it's 22. It said on Daisy. That's our Prius. Amy named it Daisy. Daisy said 22 this morning. It's 28 when I got here. So we were exchanging, went over to Weekend RV Center and picked up I needed one more electric hose to keep the water from freezing. And so Wyatt and I worked on that yesterday. And what's neat about the electric hoses is that it comes with it unlike a regular hose, it has a female end on both ends. So instead of a male end on one end, a male thread, and then a female end on the other end, it has a female thread on both ends, because you have one end of the hose has the thermostat on it, which is loose. The other end has the plug. So depending on which way you need to turn it, you don't know which end needs to be a female end and which end needs to be a male end. So it comes with a male-to-male coupling. Vance is really enjoying this from behind the screen.
Oh, yeah.
It comes with the male-to-male coupling. So if you need to plug it in at one house, or you need to plug it in at one place, you can plug either end in by swapping it around and using the fitting on the end that has to go into the trailer. And so we got that done yesterday. Now we got everything done and got it all hooked up together and got the leaks fixed and got everything insulated and ready to go, and realized we needed a cord that we didn't have. So that'll be our project for the day, won't it, White?
Yep, sure will.
And that'll be our project for the day. But however, even with when temperatures get down in their 20s or in the teens like they did yesterday, when they get down to that point, even though you have an electric hose, you still have to leave your water dripping.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so.
The electric hose comes on at 47 degrees. When the temperature drops below 47 degrees, the hose comes on, and it stays on until it rises back above 47 degrees.
Wow.
But you still have the fittings to deal with on the hose. And so I had called Weekend RV Center because I was concerned about, I know what we have to do. The water heater, which in our case is a on-demand water heating system, which
tankless.
Is in tankless, which is in the cabinet, storage cabinet underneath the front of the trailer that attaches into our bedroom. And so, but the thing about it is that I called him and said, what do you do when this is 20 degrees? Because that's a non-heated space. I mean, it gets some heat from the bedroom itself, but that's a non-heated space. And so the tankless water heater is supposed to have a safety feature where it kicks on and warms up the water that's in the tank.
Wow.
Periodically.
I knew that not.
Phrasing. I did not know that either. Now I just kept thinking, I couldn't sleep last night because I just kept thinking, well, is he going to do that? Is there something I needed to do? But I read about it, and no, it's supposed to be an automatic feature as long as the switch is on and the water heater's on, and it's supposed to do that.
I figured you probably couldn't sleep because you were thinking about Wyatt being here after eating all those deviled eggs.
Oh no, he come over to make a visit with me about 9 o'clock last night, just to let me know that he had polished off those deviled eggs.
Yeah, definitely.
And then his dad called looking for him, and he said, "Is the boy over there?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I told him not to go over there and do that." So anyway, but we got him back out of trouble, didn't we, son?
Yep.
Yep, we did.
Sure did.
That's how we roll. That's all about family. But he's going to help me. He was a trooper yesterday. He helped me do all that stuff out there in the cold, and he's my legs for me sometimes, and Amy's my legs for me sometimes because I can't do what he used to do. I just can't move like that. However,
I feel you there.
We're going to talk today about the Beamer some too. The Beamer therapy. Amy and I are using that, and it is just phenomenal in what it does for you. It's circulation station with Jim Vesper. You're going to be hearing more and more about this on the program each and every week. It is doing wonders for me.
That's awesome.
It really is. And Amy, it has helped her greatly because she has swelling, and so it has helped her. It puts you to sleep. I mean, it just gets you so relaxed and get blood flowing, and it's just amazing. And
does it help her with the headache that is you?
No.
No,
that's the only bad thing about it. It just puts her to sleep where she didn't have to put up with me. But yeah, it's one of those kinds of things. Man, did I watch a ball game last night?
Do tell.
I like to watch Tennessee. Of course, they play at noon today.
Yeah.
And so I'm bad to have something that I like on my computer sitting beside me, and then something I like on the television at the same time when it's just me. And some things I'll watch out of the corner of my eye. Sometimes I keep the volume down low. Sometimes I just turn the volume off. I'm always multitasking, trying to anyway. But I watched Georgia Tech.
Ooh, I heard that was a game.
It was a game.
Yeah.
I turned it on and I thought to myself, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go watch something else and turn this back on in the fourth quarter. When it's down to the money, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, I got a phone call in between before that, and so I didn't change the channel. So I was talking and doing that, visiting. You know how you do on your holiday stuff, get all that done. I looked up and Georgia Tech had scored, and then they scored again. Then they kicked the field goal, and I thought it was 17-0.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, it's a ball game. We're going to watch this. And I'm going to tell you something. Georgia Tech's quarterback, that guy, that's one of the toughest kids I've ever seen. He's a man. I mean,
that's what I hear.
I'm telling you what, he played unbelievably, but the long and the short of it is, I watched it till the end. Georgia beat them 42-40. I think was the final score.
Bummer.
In 8 overtimes.
8 overtimes.
8 overtimes.
Holy smoke.
The record for college overtime games is 9.
Wow.
And so what happens is you do 2 overtimes, and then after that, you just start all they do is go for 2 points. They line up on at the where they go for 2 points. I forget what the yard line is, 8 or 5 or 10 or whatever it is. And they line up and you go for 2. If you get 2, then the other team gets a chance to get 2, and the first team that don't get 2 loses. And they did that. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then Georgia finally got it in the 8th. And those kids were young folks was absolutely wore out. One of the best football games. I hated to see Georgia win. I'm just going to tell you.
They're manly kids.
They are manly kids. But, man, that's one of the best ball games I ever saw in my life. You talking about Georgia plays for the SEC championship this coming week, which I don't like. But, anyway, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'll have to say, I think they overlooked them. They come in and thought they were going to just jump out there and pounce on them. And, buddy, Georgia Tech come to play.
That's awesome. I was really hoping Georgia Tech took that game.
I was too. You know, that's a good thing about rivalry games. It's just like today, Tennessee and Vanderbilt. You know, anything can happen. I'm praying Tennessee's going to come out and play. Vanderbilt's playing good football, but you can throw all the statistics out of the book when it's Tennessee, Alabama, or Tennessee, Vanderbilt, or Tennessee, Florida in the SEC. You can just
by the way
out the window. Yes, sir.
Sorry, Vanderbilt.
I'm glad to see them do good, but we need a win today. So
we need a win bad.
We got to get that done.
I think Nico can help him get that down there.
Yeah, and I think we lose track, and I didn't mean to get off on sports this morning, but it's kind of an interesting show to do on the holidays. Is, you know, the thing about it is we forget, even though he's as good as he is, he's just a freshman.
Yeah, and a good freshman.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a freshman.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school. I mean, last year he was playing high school ball.
Yeah.
So that's something a lot of high school football teams playing last night. I couldn't keep up with that. I finally got settled back down and got to sleep and slept last night. And just when I got up, the water was still running, so that's a good sign that it didn't freeze. And so
Did Daddy get a shower?
Daddy did not get a shower.
I thought so.
Well, thanks for telling everybody in the world that I come to work dirty. It was just too cold this morning. I didn't want to take a chance on freezing something up and doing this, doing that. So we'll have to check that when we get back, you know. And like I said, it being the first time that I've reached these cold temperatures with, and of course, Weekend RV Center's closed today, as a lot of businesses are. And you know, we're going to leave here and go pick up the cords we need, and then we're going to head home to make sure we put the stuff that we need to do in the right order and get that done. That's one of the things that we're going to do. Now, if you're up and want to chat with us this morning, you got a home improvement question, something to talk about, we'd love to hear from you this morning. 865-577-4885. That's the call-in line, 865-577-4885. And as always, you can text us on the Miracle Method. I thought I was going to get it out.
You were going slow. I thought
Method message line at 865-255-3911. 865-255-3911.
Don't send us any messages.
Yeah, really. Oh, so, you know, we're up and at it, and would love to talk to you about your about whatever issues you have. Brian, I've got an article for Brian that come up on my RV Living page that I follow about how to pick a used motorhome.
Oh.
So I'm gonna be sending that out to him and getting him going with that. And
there you go, Brian.
So we'll get that rolling. Also, Lance from Busy Bee called me this week, and he had a leak that he had determined, finally found out where it was on his travel trailer. And so we were talking about the products that were available to do that and some of what you got to do. And on a Monday, actually, we have a young man coming out to put our awning got ripped off of our travel trailer when we were in California.
Wow.
We went 5 miles down the road to the store, and a windstorm come up and a sandstorm, and my awning was out and it ripped it about 5 foot.
Oh man.
So
that's not good.
No, it's not good. So we had to roll it up. Oh, my battery's running low. We had to roll it up and make sure that. Sorry, y'all. There we go.
Helps to plug it in.
It does help to plug it in. It's been plugged in so many times. I'm gonna have to send it to the computer shop and let them get it fixed where the plug will stay in there. It wants to come out. And of course, what did I do? I duct taped it. Duct tape and JB Welds, all you need to make it happen.
That's right. You don't want to use JB Weld on that.
No, we don't want to use JB Weld on that because it's got to come out. So we got all that kind of stuff going on this morning. So we're going to take that first time out and let you hear from some of these folks that bring you the Rick's House program. When we come back, we'll jump into some home improvement, talk about getting ready for Christmas. Got some things going on. It's that time, y'all. It's that time. So get your coffee. Good morning. Glad to see y'all out this morning. Appreciate you. Having a little trouble reading the texts as I have
he has
left my glasses at home.
Yes, he has.
I have, White. I've left my glasses at home. We're going to have to do that. So we'll be right back with more Rick's House Live. Hang on, y'all. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knox Rail Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Popper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxRailSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you, I know a little something about mobility issues. I know a little something about taking care of mom and dad and grandparents and things you do when you're supposed to. That's why I trust Chris and his team at Miracle Method. They've got a safety package. A safety package that converts that tub in your house. But the main thing is it's going to give them an easy step in. It's going to give them grab bars that are added right. It's going to give them the flexibility to have that independence. And you, the knowledge of knowing that you've taken care of mom and dad. Miracle Method. Find them online today. Miracle Method. 865-693-5522. For safety is a priority.
Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House. Thanks for joining us live on the program. Happy post-Thanksgiving to you. Hope you had a great and wonderful holiday with your family. We always look forward to that. And so we had a great time on Thanksgiving, and we hope you did too. I was thinking this past week about I had something wood that I needed that had split in half. It was actually a lid holder that goes on one of Amy's pan covers, and it has a wood lid on it. It had a plastic one on it, and that broke off, and so there was a little spike there. So I utilized a piece of wood that I had that was actually just a little round wood circular wheel
dowel
that had, well, it wasn't a dowel. It was it come off of actually this is awful to say, but come off a back scratcher. You know them wooden back scratchers, and then on the other end it's got the little round wheels in them.
Yeah.
So you run it up and down your back. Well, that's no good. I don't need that.
I use the metal back scratcher.
Yeah, well, I don't have a metal one. I've got a wooden one that a listener got brought to me, one I've had for about 20 years.
Wow.
And but the little wooden rollers had came out of it. So we were looking for something to put on this pan, and I thought, well, man, that'll fit. So what I did is that was a screw that was sticking up, so I just screwed it down on there, and it lasted like that for a good long time. And then what happened was we decided that we were going to and we used it. And of course, it got wet. You know, it got wet. It got a little soft, you know. And so I dropped the lid, and it busted in two.
Oh, no.
The lid didn't bust in two. It's metal, but the little wooden thing was weak, and it busted in two. So it was damp, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, Amy's like, well, what are we going to do? I said, well, I can glue that back together. So I got to thinking about it, and it'd been some time when I was in Florida, and this is relative to this story. When I was in Florida, I had a shovel that I had purchased, and I don't know where I got this thing. I think I got it at Kmart, actually, back when Kmart was the deal. And I loved Kmart. Kmart was the thing. I mean, that was my place. I just go in there and sit and watch them go crazy over that blue light special. Irregular underwear under the blue light while they last. You know, you'd see fights and everything under the blue light special.
Well, you would too.
I'm telling you, they go crazy over that blue light, man. It does something to them. Maybe they have flashbacks. I don't know. But anyway.
I say it still does something to them today.
It does something to them today.
The blue lights.
Them blue lights does. That's right, White. So we were, I got to thinking, I have no idea where I was headed. Oh, I bought the shovel that I had, and it was a Better Homes and Gardens shovel. Now this thing,
top of the line. It was the Mercedes-Benz, the Cadillac, the whatever you want to call it of shovels. And it was a round pointed shovel, just a regular shovel, and it had a great old big handle on it. And that handle, I ain't kidding you, was almost as big as a baseball. I mean, a baseball bat. Wow.
I mean, it was a big, sturdy hickory handle. And so, but what I liked about the shovel is I'm bad not to have. Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Michael. Miss Amy's in. Good morning.
Amy.
It was in I'm bad to go out in the yard and be working like in tennis shoes or something, and you go to push down on the rim of the shovel to push it in the ground. It's real thin. After a while, that'll hurt your foot.
Yes, it will.
So this one had little steps on either side of the handle. It had little steps about that wide that had cleats on it. So when you could actually stand up on it and really dig in
you had to use your shoes then, didn't you?
Dirt. Oh, I did. No more barefoot shoveling. So when that happened, I thought, man, this thing is great. Well, I'd had that shovel for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. And I went to Florida, and one of my neighbors wanted to borrow the shovel. I'm like, sure, go. It's in the building. Go back there and get it. Well, how in the world this happened, I'll never know, because it had been used and used and used and used. They were trying to pry something up out of the ground.
Uh-oh.
And when they did, the metal part got hung up underneath it, and the handle of the shovel split.
Oh, wow.
And it split about 16 inches up the handle.
But that's some split.
It didn't come all the way apart, but pretty much apart. It just split right up through there. So, she just tore all to pieces. She said, one of my boys broke this. I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's a shovel. They make them every day. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it. And she's like, if you can't fix it, I'll replace it. I'm like, don't worry about it.
Kmart's not around anymore.
Did you get what you was trying to get out? Yeah, we got it out. Well, okay, that's what matters. We ain't gonna worry about a shovel handle. We'll put a new one in it. Mm-hmm. Well, at that time, that's when Gorilla Glue had just come out. And I didn't understand the premise of Gorilla Glue because they make several different ones. Tiny's guarding that door over there for some reason. I don't know what she's looking at, but she's on guard duty.
Yep.
So anyway, ain't she what?
Yep, she's on guard duty for sure.
She's on the prowl.
So
I got to looking at that, and I had bought some of this. No, actually, they had sent me some Gorilla Glue when it first come out. So I got to reading on it, and I thought, well, you just put the glue on there, and then then you clamp it. No, not Gorilla Glue. You got to wet the surface. Now, they have, like I said, they have different types of Gorilla Glue, but the liquid glue that's in the bottle, you have to, if you're going to glue wood, it has to be wet.
Mm-hmm.
So I wet that wood, and then I put that Gorilla Glue on there, and then I didn't have a good way to clamp it. I had one clamp. I hear the phone ring. I had one clamp, and so what I did is I clamped it, and then I took some heavy duty tape, electric tape that would stretch where I could really get a bind on it, and I wrapped that shovel handle all the way up, and then I just set it to the side and let it dry. Well, what happens with the Gorilla Glue is, and it's one of the strongest glues. Amy hates it, but it's one of the strongest glues there is. But the water reacts with the glue, and it causes it to expand and to bond. And so it's almost like foam, like foam insulation. It will expand, and as it expands, it's bonding, and it comes to life. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what it does. And so I did that, and I let it dry for, 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever. And then I come back, and I just took a utility knife and scraped the glue off of the wood. I had that shovel until I finally lost it or left it somewhere. I don't know where I did, for another 10 years. And you would break the wood outside of that before you would break that bond.
Wow.
Between that. So on her pan lid, the little wood knob was wet. So I put that in there, and then I took, of all things, these big metal clips that you use on papers, they're black and you can flip them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I put those on either side of it to clamp and hold it. Man, that thing foamed up, and it fixed our problem. So in certain applications where you've got wood, that Gorilla Glue is fantastic, but you got to wet it. We got somebody on the phone for us?
We got Brian on line one.
All right, let's go to Brian on line one. Brian, good morning, sir. How was your turkey day?
Well, it was outstanding, and thanks for asking, Rick. I got a quick question for you, and I'm not sure. I sent you a couple of pictures off of Facebook Messenger, and I'm sure you're busy and you didn't get a chance to check those out. It's in regards to my boiler in my home, and
I haven't seen that, but I'll look at it.
Yeah, and my boiler is a new boiler, and when you look at it, the stack part that goes up and out of the house, there's some sweat marks around that. I've been told they guarantee that my roof or this isn't leaking. So if you look at those pictures, can you tell me what your opinion is and what maybe I need to go to next, or is this something that I don't need to worry about?
Did you send them to my phone?
No, I sent it on Facebook Messenger.
Okay, you sent it to Facebook Messenger. All right, we'll take a look at that, and I'll see what we can come up with. Are you seeing moisture anywhere else, or are you just seeing it on the pipe itself?
No, it's not even on the pipe. It's around where the pipe goes up to the main roof. You can see. I thought it looked like it was leaking, and I said that to the people that we were having some issues with, and they said no, it's not leaking. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to kind of keep my mouth shut, take some pictures of this, and see what my expert buddy Rick at Rick's House Radio, what his opinion is, and then go from there.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Lance, I'm going to put Brian back. Let's put Brian back on hold, and then we'll take that time out. Let me look at those pictures, and then we'll talk about it when we come back.
Yep.
We'll see what we can come up with. Wyatt, we got to take a look at that. You think we can figure out what it is?
Yep. We'll be right back, folks.
All right.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show, right here on 96.3 FM, Praise FM. Let me tell you about my friends Tyler and Xavier and the team over at Weekend RV Center. Whether you're looking for sales or service or parts or storage, they're the team that can make that happen for you. I trust them. They've been there with me when we were on the road all over the United States, and they'll be there for you. They can work on your RV. They can take your RV in on a trade. They can sell you a new RV, but most of all, they're going to treat you like family. You're not dealing with some big corporation. You're dealing with local folk who want to do a great job and take care of you. Weekend RV Center, 865-457-4424, 865-457-4424, or find them online at weekendrvcenter.com.
Now listen, if you've not been to Baker Boys, have y'all tried Baker Boys pizza yet? Oh my good gracious. Let me tell you something. It's on Cherry Street. If you get off on Cherry Street and turn toward Magnolia, and you'll see Baker Boys down there on the right. He's got a 30-inch pie, like not even got in my van and got the door closed. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, a slice of pizza feed 10 kids. Baker Boys Pizza is the place. I'm telling y'all, go by and see them and tell them that we sent you, and they're going to take care of you. They're going to be proud to see you, and they're going to be glad to feed you and your family. Great place for after church on Sundays. Go by and see the team at Baker Boys Pizza and tell them that Rick's House sent you.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690, 865-599-1690.
Want the good, the bad, and the ugly of home improvement? You found it. This is Rick's House.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House. Thanks for joining us on the program live on WJBZ, your FM, your Praise FM, 96.3. Appreciate you joining us on the program. My nephew White joins me today. He's been my project helper yesterday. He's going to be my project helper today. Let's go back to Brian on the phones, Vance.
Yep.
Okay, so Brian sent me some pictures, and those of you all are watching us on Facebook, I'm going to show you what he sent me. Y'all see that? Okay. So this is the pipe that goes up and extends through the roof so that it vents off of his boiler, and the boilers are common out in that part of the West Coast and Midwest where he is at, where it's colder than good golly Miss Molly like it is here this morning. And Brian, it's 22 this morning when I got up. I'm going to tell you, were those stains there before?
Yes, they were there before, but we had the work done.
Okay. Well, that's a water stain, period.
Okay.
It's a water stain. Now, whether or not it's a current water stain or just one that was there beforehand, I mean, they sealed it and put a metal plate in there. My curiosity would be, did they change the roof boot as it goes through the roof, and what kind of boot does it have on the exterior there that's allowing it, to stop from getting water around it? But that's a water stain. Now, whether it came on the existing boot before they replaced it, or whether that's on the current boot, I can't tell. If it's current, it'll be damp. Although there's some heat on that pipe, I'm sure, as it exhausts. But yeah, that's a water stain, no doubt about it. It's a water stain. Just, my question would be, is it current or is it past? That would be what I would say.
So, my question is, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm looking up there going, that's a water leak, and the people that worked on this earlier last summer said no, it's not. And I'm talking to a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah, right.
You
Don't you know they know everything?
Oh,
I thought I did.
They do. Yeah. So did I. So I guess that you seeing what I'm seeing right now, your expert advice. Is there somebody independent maybe I should call and have them come over and say, hey, look at this, and what is your opinion? And if it is a problem, let's go to the next step.
Need a roofer.
Okay, I need a roofer. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you tell me you were going to use Roof Max to do your roof? Have they done that yet?
No, but I was very impressed, especially at their price. And they had something like a $900 deal where they got onto your roof and made sure everything was cool before they sprayed anything. And if there was anything out of the normal, they would try to fix it, before ripping your roof apart and costing you all kinds of money. But they were really easygoing when it came to that kind of thing.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because when I talked to the folks that own Roof Max here, that was part of the deal is they get up there, and if there are minor repairs to be made, like with a boot replaced or a shingle gone or whatever, that they will make those repairs, is my understanding, within what they do. So I would definitely get them up there to take a look at it, because to see if it's not leaking. But that's absolutely a water leak. And there ain't no doubt about that. I mean, that's a water leak, period.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you in regards to that. But then again, I wasn't really sure because I'm not an expert, and that's why I sent you over those pictures. And I didn't mean to shoot them over to you so fast.
Oh no,
early in the morning.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I've been up since 5, so it's all good. You've been up a whole lot later than that. What's your temperature in Lacey, Washington this morning?
About 30, 36, and it's foggy.
You're way ahead of us. We were 22 and then 28 when I got to the office this morning. When Wyatt and I got here, it was rather chilly as we left this morning. Lots of frost on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling my wife, because I want to move to your location, and after being retired, and she's telling me, no, we need to stay here in the Northwest. But how's the word I'm looking for? The peace and harmony that you guys have where you're at versus the aggressiveness of everything. It would be just nice to get off the merry-go-round and just kind of hang out where your guys are at. Is that a little out of line, or what do you think?
Well, I'll have to say, and this is something that Amy and I talked about, and I've shared in a few states out west. Depending on where we were out west, especially in the cities. When you're close to a big city, that's a whole different ballgame. There ain't nobody paying attention to nothing except what they're doing. Was my experience. You're on the road, you're traveling, and you got your blinker on, trying to get over for 2 miles, and they ain't seen you yet. They ain't letting you over. It's gun it and go kind of thing. And I
make a hole.
Yeah, wave and swerve. That's what it's I'm going to just leave it at that. Wave and swerve. But I will say that, and I will say good morning to my brother from another mother. My cousin Douglas is listening to us this morning in Australia, and which is afternoon there. But good morning, Douglas. We love you, brother. We look. If I'll have to get a picture up of Douglas. We are cousins, first cousins, and we absolutely positively look like brothers. Except he's better looking.
Sorry, Douglas.
Well, I was going to say he's better looking. He's better looking than I am, and but he's a construction guy too. So So he does that kind of thing. But I will say this, one of the things I noticed when I was out west, and I don't mean to by any means, we met lots and lots of nice folks out west. I mean, we've made some friends out west like yourself and of course now John and we got Tim and Cammie out there and my buddy Phil Hickey out in Oregon and we and John Mary and just so many people that we met while we were out there who are just great people and they'll be people that we'll communicate with for the rest of our lives. It's just part of the deal. Tom and Mary, of course, great friends and but the thing about it is one of the things I noticed, especially in Arizona for some reason, in New Mexico, and then out that way, people don't look you in the eye. You pass somebody, I pass somebody on the street, say, hey, how you doing? They just ignore you and go right on. Do you find that to be common out there, Brian?
In the line of work that I'm in, and hopefully retiring very soon, nightly.
Yeah, it's just a different. Now you pass somebody on the street in Tennessee, they don't know you from Adam. Hey, how you doing? Good, y'all right? How's your mama? I guess it's a Southern thing. Southern hospitality, so to speak. But we have our people that ain't very nice too. But yeah, I find it to be a calmer environment once you're out of the city. Now, here's the thing. I read an article this past month, and it said what you need to tell your California friends before they move here.
You're staying out of this one.
Yeah. Well,
Here we go.
And John, if you're listening, no, this is, but it said that's exactly what it said. It said what your California friends don't expect when they move to Tennessee and what gets them. And it's one word, and that word is humidity. Humidity. That's a fact. Now, Tom.
That is a fact.
Tom and Mary, our dear friends that we worked for a year out at the Springs out in Oregon, they came and stayed. They were traveling in their RV across the travel trailer across the country, visiting family, and they left there and went down and went through all the states in Texas and over to North Carolina and stayed over in Gatlinburg with us for about a week, and their air conditioner went out on their travel trailer. Well, this was back during the summer. And it was in the 90s with 100% humidity, and we had a couple 100 days and 105s, and they were like, "Oh my Lord, how do you live in this?" So if you're not used to humidity, that takes some getting used to because we have it, and where the air is as thick as pea soup, and you just walk outside and sweat. That's the biggest issue that I find with our friends that move here. But it's like anything. Once you get used to it, I mean, I got used to -8 in Oregon and snow and all that kind of stuff. Did I like it? No, I didn't like it, but I was able to adapt to it. But that's the biggest thing I think that our friends out west have to deal with when they move here. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you, baby. We love you. So it's that to me is the biggest thing. But as far as pace, I see our pace changing in the city because of the amount of people that are coming from up north and the people that are coming out west, because that's the pace you guys are used to. I mean, if that's what you're used to. So I didn't mean that to be a derogatory statement at all. It's just an observation from living here my whole life, but then having the privilege to live in other places across the country.
And, that is a great way to put that. And I live in the, excuse me, I live in the city of Lacey in Washington State, which is a metropolitan area, but it's not that big, but it is that big. And like I was talking to my wife, I said, we live on a road that's been around forever, But if you remember right, honey, 8 years ago, I was backing my security vehicle out of the driveway, and a guy was shot twice, once in the stomach and once in the head, because he didn't want to give a cigarette out to somebody that was walking down the street. And that's, and I'm thinking that merry-go-round still comes around. I take my dog for a walk in the morning time. I run into 3 or 4 people that are homeless, probably, or they have, mental health issues and drug problem issues. And I'm really concerned about the safety of me and my dog while I'm walking around. And I shouldn't be concerned about that. And then when you hear a car backfire, you look around and go, is that a backfire or is that a gunshot? And I'm in a metropolitan small city of Lacey. And so that merry-go-round needs to stop for me and my wife after my business sells. And we want to be able to sell the house quickly. And if I can talk her into your area, because the weather you're talking about, she's not into that much. But I think that we would be more happier as retired people in your area and then my fast-paced area here.
Well, the
in
beauty
Washington.
of it is where we live, and I think Vance and White will agree with this.
Definitely.
Definitely.
There's 4 seasons. We get a true 4 seasons. This year's been a little bit different.
Maybe 3.
We really have kind of 3 this year. But the thing about it is those, we still have those. We have more of those incidences than we've had since when I was a kid. You never heard such things as that. I mean, you just didn't hear about it. And if you did, it was limited to certain geographical areas of the city. We're seeing that in more spread out than it used to be. But I equate that to the number of folks that are here that come from other places where that's how it is. One of the things that I noticed out west was that, there's, and we're starting to see that here. I noticed that we have areas that are being revitalized. And I was going through an area this past week. Amy and I were out and we were driving, and I had to cut through this area where when I worked for the newspaper, and I worked nights, and I was a supervisor for newspaper delivery for the local paper. I went through this area where there's a little store, and the low income housing is there behind this store, and it's a pretty rough neighborhood. Of course, they put a magnet school in there now, which kids from anywhere can go, and they put all the programs there, which is great. That's fine. But I turned the corner and looked to my right and saw a person who was deceased. And of course I stopped and called the cops and I in this particular area. It was unfortunately it was a young person, and I was driving through this same area this past week, and there was a brand new $500,000 house in the middle of this area where the houses are really, really rough, but they're putting them up and they're building them, and people are coming from out west and up north and buying in these areas. And I don't know how that's going to change what we have, because I know, like my mom lives in New Mexico. Well, in New Mexico, you can have a trailer and a shack, and then a $500,000 house, and then that's just the way it is. Here it's not been that way so much, except in these areas, because they've run out of room, and so they're revitalizing those areas. So I would encourage anyone that comes here, excuse me, to get a really good realtor and knows the area, and that knows the area, so you know what you're dealing with, so you don't jump out of the frying pan into the fire. Does that make sense? And those areas will change, because the more of those types of folks that come in, the more it changes, and those other folks move in other directions. And that's not to be critical. I'm for everybody having a house and everybody having a chance and all those kinds of things. But that's how I see our city changing. Yet in the country, it's a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah. And Brian, if you do think about, or if you do make a move out this way, just pass right by Memphis.
Yeah, I know Memphis has been an area that you've had some interest in, but man, I'd avoid Memphis like the plague. It's a tough. It has its bright spots, but it also has some very, it's a very crime ridden.
And they don't stay in their neighborhoods.
Yeah. So
and
I'm not talking about anything. I don't care if you're white, green, purple, orange. I mean, I could care less about any of that. You either do right or you don't.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about people that don't do right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course.
And they're everywhere in the United States. And unfortunately, when you think you live in the state capital, and you can't walk your dog. And I'm sorry, I walk my dog around 3:00 in the morning, and I have to carry protection with me, even though I have a German Shepherd, because I come across between 3 and 7 people that are obviously homeless, but they have a problem, mental health or a drug addiction. And so you have to, you can't do that here as much as I'm sure where you guys are at.
Well, I would say that they're making some, this is something Amy and I talk about a lot. We have a very tender spot in our heart about folks who are homeless, who have mental illness, and that's tough. And I will have to say, in our area, they are doing a lot of things to help those folks, especially our veterans, which should have the care that they need.
There should never be a homeless veteran.
I don't.
Nope.
I don't think so. I agree. I mean, I agree with that. So, compared to where you live, it's a whole lot less. But we have that too. I just think it's a little more isolated than it's a tenth of what I saw out in your part of the world, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense, Rick. And I know when you were out here, a lot of people turn around when it's summertime and they think, oh my gosh, in the Northwest, look at all these beautiful lakes and streams, and there's a bald eagle, and there's some wolves running around and all this beautiful stuff. But they don't realize that's only for about 45 days a year. The rest of the time, it's overcast, windy, rainy.
I couldn't live like that. That'd run me crazy. I couldn't. I promise you, unless you just want to, you don't have to mow your yard in the rain here. You can wait a day or two.
Yeah.
Dry up.
Yep.
Well, thanks for taking my call, Rick. And I just wanted to throw out there if Vance could tell us if he won the all-you-can-eat hot wing contest Monday.
I came in second.
Okay. Hey, well, good enough, brother. That second place is better, than third place. Outstanding
He's
job.
training,
buddy.
though. He's training.
Yeah. If I'd have just eaten 30 more wings, I could have won.
Yeah, he's training. He's working on. He's getting that number up. He's training. Working diligently at it.
I'm up to 7 now.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for your expert advice, Rick. I'll probably shoot you a couple over some more pictures.
Yeah, send me
and
some more pictures. We'll take a look at them and see. But I would ask Ruth Max to look at that for me, and just make sure that the problem has been stopped.
And the plate, you made a comment about a steel plate. Was that
it's actually galvanized? But
okay, galvanized. Okay, great. No problem at all. I just
that's the metal plate that you see underneath the ring. You got that pipe ring that looks like a pipe, that looks like a paper plate that they cut the center out of, that goes around, which is a trim piece that goes on the ceiling itself. And that looks like plaster ceiling to me. Is it plaster?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a whole different beast on the repair of that inside. You got to have somebody knows what they're doing there. To make a plaster repair. I'm sure there are competent people out in your part of the world, because the amount of plaster ceilings and walls they have to deal with. But that's a whole different process than sheetrock to make that repair.
All right. Well, like I said, I'll send you some more pictures over and sometime in the afternoon or whatever. And if you get a chance to take a look at it and maybe send me more of your expert advice, so that way I can get this going before we end up with snow and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Glad to help you any way we can, my friend.
All right. God bless you, sir. And thanks for the great service that you provided.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Brian. All right. Good stuff on the program. The phone lines are open if you'd like to visit with us this morning. We've got another hour of the program. 865-577-4885 is how you reach us on the Praise 96.3 call-in line. Praise 96.3 FM, your Praise FM. For Rick's House this morning. We've got another hour to go. We're going to continue talking home improvement and get you ready for getting those. Have you seen the Christmas light people that are putting Christmas? I saw Christmas lights this morning.
Ain't that something? There's a tree service out there too.
There is. There's a tree service. I haven't seen that one yet. Will actually come and do your tree.
They'll come set your tree up. They'll decorate it, and if it's a real tree, they'll haul it off when done.
How about that? That's a pretty neat service.
Yeah.
And I see lights everywhere. So we saw that this morning, didn't we?
Yep,
Didn't
we sure did.
Right. We saw that this morning. A lot of pretty lights going on. So lots of things to look at. If you'd like to give us a message, you can do that on the Miracle Method message line at 865-255-3911. You can text us that message. We'd love to have that from you as well as we continue our conversation about home improvement. I told you about the Gorilla Glue, and I fixed the lid. Matter of fact, it's glued back and solid. I'm gonna put that back on today, so we don't have to grab that pot with a pot holder. We can just reach down and grab the wooden knob on the top, so I can keep on frying that sausage in the mornings.
Amen.
So that's good stuff on the program. I guess we'll take that top of the hour time out, Vance. And
we can do that.
Let's go ahead and do that and get that one out of the way. Wyatt, you ready to do that? Tell them what's going to happen next, Wyatt. We're going to time out.
Yep, we're heading for a timeout, folks.
All right, and then we'll be right back.
Right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Piper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Hey, y'all, being from the country, I've learned one thing for sure. The difference in experience can make the difference between a good job and a bad. That's why we choose August Excavation for all your excavation needs. Whether it's pouring a footing, laying out a footing, pouring a concrete driveway, excavating a basement, or whatever your excavation needs may be. August Excavating. Call them today, 423-736-1402. 423-736-1402. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show, right here on 96.3 FM, Praise FM. Let me tell you about my friends Tyler and Xavier and the team over at Weekend RV Center. Whether you're looking for sales or service or parts or storage, they're the team that can make that happen for you. I trust them. They've been there with me when we were on the road all over the United States, and they'll be there for you. They can work on your RV. They can take your RV in on a trade. They can sell you a new RV, but most of all, they're going to treat you like family. You're not dealing with some big corporation. You're dealing with local folk who want to do a great job and take care of you. Weekend RV Center, 865-457-4424, 865-457-4424, or find them online at weekendrvcenter.com. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690. 865-599-1690. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you, I know a little something about mobility issues. I know a little something about taking care of mom and dad and grandparents and things you do when you're supposed to. That's why I trust Chris and his team at Miracle Method. They've got a safety package. A safety package that converts that tub in your house. But the main thing is it's going to give them an easy step in. It's going to give them grab bars that are added right. It's going to give them the flexibility to have that independence, and you the knowledge of knowing that you've taken care of mom and dad. Miracle Method. Find them online today. Miracle Method. 865-693-5522. For safety is a priority.
Got a question? Rick's got the answers for all your home improvement questions. It's Rick's House. Home improvement advice done right.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House. Thanks for joining us on the program. 2 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here on the Rick's House Radio Show. Live on Praise 96.3, your Praise 96.3. My partner in crime, White, who's my helper today and my go-to guy yesterday. If it's mechanical, he can fix it, can't you, buddy?
Yep, I can fix anything mechanical and all that.
Yeah, he does. So he does a good job. He's going to help me make sure we got our electric hoses up. And that's something, too, that if you've not purchased, if you're thinking about doing any type of wintertime camping and you've not purchased an electric water hose, when I was talking to Xavier this week, when I was over there last week, they had a whole shipment of them in, and I got the last one this past Wednesday because they're going like hotcakes. Many of the campgrounds that you go to, especially if you're doing winter camping, will require you to have one of those hoses before you can even rent a space when you go into fall and into wintertime, so that you're not going to freeze and bust their pipes. And I get that. And the hoses are not that expensive. I mean, they're not cheap by any means, but it's
would imagine they're a lot cheaper than the repairs.
A lot cheaper than the repairs.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, the repair is always cost more, and that's something you got to deal with. Like I said, when I get home today, I've left the water running. We're going to see what's what. We're hoping that hot water on demand heater has done its job and not froze up. And it doesn't store water in a tank like a regular water heater does, but it simply moves the water through and heats it. And technically, it's supposed to fire up and occasionally to keep those pipes warm. The sensor's supposed to allow that and keep it from doing that. So I'm praying that that's what happened. We'll find out when we get home and see how that is. But we do have water. I know that. We had water when I left this morning. So that's a good sign. Didn't see any huge puddles outside. White didn't either. So
I definitely didn't see any huge puddles.
So we should be okay as we get ready to watch the Vols today at noon and run and do some errands. Good time for me to tell you about my friend Anita over at Cozy Mountain Cabins. What a great job she does over there. She's got cabins of all size for rent to go and see. And just like this past week, recliners is a real important thing for me with some of my mobility issues. So I just called her and said, hey, which cabins do you have a recliner in? And she told me. So we know which ones that we can go to now when we want to rent a cabin and have that recliner. So if you've got specific things like that, you can call Anita. You can reach out to her at CozyMountainCabins.com, Cozy with a Z, CozyMountainCabins.com, and she can let you know. If you just tell her, hey, we got this many people, or hey, we'd like to be close to this, or hey, do you got anything on the water, which she does, all those kinds of things, and she'll make sure. And then when you go there, it'll be absolutely spotless. You want to see bears? They got cabins that have bears. Unfortunately, I don't want to see any bears.
I'd just soon not run into one of those.
I
don't either.
Don't have any
No.
interest in seeing the bears, although
Mm-mm.
that is something that we are constantly having to deal with. And it was crazy. I saw in the news how many of those bears that they've had to relocate or actually put down because of
With all the building going on.
they're territorial, and as that area just keeps expanding. And there's another place up there that's open now that I had saw that's open. It's called the Digging Zone, and that's where you can take your kids and they can run a track hoe or a backhoe or a skid steer, or they've got it set up in a safe environment where kids can actually dig in the dirt. A little bit more digging in the dirt's good, don't you?
That sounds
think,
like
Vance?
fun.
It does sound like fun.
Sounds like a good idea to
I'm
me.
gonna make a trip up there in the next few days.
You want to take Wyatt with you?
I'm gonna have to take Wyatt with me up there.
That'll work.
We just take him up there and drop him off, and come back and get him about a week.
Hey, that'll work.
And he likes to run that equipment, don't you, Wyatt?
Yep, I sure do.
He likes to run equipment. So lots of things going on up in that part of the world as they get ready for Christmas, and we get ready for Christmas. Can you believe what is it? A month away?
Yeah, close
think
to
so.
it.
Yeah, well,
Close. It's a little under a month.
Little under a month. It's a month
Yeah.
away, and so all that starting and getting ready to happen. So,
In other
Yep.
words, in a month, Christmas will be over, and I'll rest easy.
yeah, absolutely. All right.
Definitely,
And if
yep.
you'd like to send us a text message, if you're one of those people that like to text, you can
Here
do
we
that
go.
at the Miracle Method message line.
Good job.
865-255-3911. I've been practicing, Vance.
They'd be proud of you.
They would be proud of me, and
Yep.
we're proud to have them as a sponsor. What a great job they do. And I've noticed this is something I made this commercial that you just heard about
Oh,
their safety pack.
that's a good commercial.
It is. I'm proud of that one. That's
Yeah.
one of the best ones that I've done. But I did notice that they are a lot of people talking about that, and also saw our buddy Pete Sanders from Sanders Plumbing Company on Channel 10 yesterday. Did you see that?
Was it 10?
Yeah, it was on Channel
No, I
10.
missed, I
Van.
missed it, but
Yeah, he was on there talking about Brown Friday, and I don't know. I've never heard of Brown Friday, but I was talking about putting the stuff down your garbage disposal, and the garbage disposal is not a cure-all
no, sir.
for solid foods. It's not. I mean, if it's something that you can put in the trash, especially if it has oil or grease, that you definitely want to put that in the trash, not down the disposal. And also nothing that has strings in it, like celery or green beans or any of
That's a
those
mess.
kinds of that's a mess, because that stuff winds up in the pipe, and then you end up having to call him out, and he has to come out and do the deal where he sends the camera down and finds out what's causing it. So it's not a cure-all. I know it's handy for some things, and it's okay for what it's okay for, but definitely not what you want to use.
And for heaven's sakes, don't let the kids drop the silverware in there.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely. Well, if you do and turn it on, you'll know. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
don't stick your
Real
hand
quick.
down in there.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. It would hurt.
Yeah, you got to make sure.
Yeah,
you
there's
got
a
that
switch in
turned
there
off.
that if you hit it, it'll take off and take your fingers off too.
Yeah, it will.
We
So
don't
no
need
good.
that.
No good on that. So we want to make sure that you don't.
No.
So that you don't do that. That's all part of it. So, like I
Yep.
said, the Miracle Method message text line is open. If you'd like to send us a message at 865-255-3911, or if you'd like to give us a phone call, we'd love to hear from you this morning with your home improvement question, 865-577-4885. Going over to Knoxville Salvage today. They're open till noon to take a look at some stuff they've got over there. And
Get
so
some really good deals over there on some great product.
they got everything over there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look and see, but they usually have a lot of Christmas stuff over there. They got everything over there. They just have everything. And then also a second location out on Greenway Drive, Knoxville Salvage on Greenway Drive, for those of you that live with us here in Knoxville. And we'll be doing a live show from there coming up in the near future. We'll let you know when we get that scheduled. So y'all can come out and see us and visit with us, and a great chance to get to know those folks. They've been there a long time. Everybody that works there has been there a long time, and that tells you something about the company. When you've got a company that has employees that have been with them for ages and ages and ages,
then you're talking about a place that treats their employees right. And then you know what? If they treat their employees right, they're going to treat you right.
Those employees are going to treat you right in turn.
Absolutely. Everybody's better when they're happy about their work. That's just true to fact. So
I'm living proof of that.
Absolutely. It happens to all of us. So that's a great thing on the program this morning that we're chatting about. All right. Now, home improvement, getting ready for Christmas. A few things that we want to talk about this morning. And these are things that just come to mind. I'm discombobulated this morning. I got up, thought I had everything, left all my show prep.
Oh, wow.
At home.
Yep.
And what else did I leave at home, White?
He left his glasses at home too.
I
His
left
reading glasses.
my reading glasses. I brought my driving glasses, but I didn't bring my reading glasses. So we're going to have to try to go from memory on the show prep.
Yep.
That we prepared last night while we were watching the ball game,
Yep.
and then earlier in the week. But one of the things I want to talk about is extension cords.
Yeah.
Putting multiple things, whether they're fixtures, let's call them, on extension cords. Tiny's dying to get through that door in there. I don't know what is there something back there that's got her attention?
Yeah,
I don't know. There's nothing back there.
She's just looking at the doorknob. I'm getting ready for her to stand up and take her paw and open it.
I'm waiting for that too.
Yeah. So I don't know. She's doing guard duty.
She may need to go outside.
Yeah, she may need to go outside and do what she does. But anyway, when we talk about extension cords, one of the things that's important is the size of the extension cord, and making sure you have the proper size wire in the cord to run the appropriate things that you're trying to run off of it. That's the first thing. The second thing is making sure that the length of the cord does not exceed the length that you want it to. If it's 25 feet, you want to use a 25-foot cord. If it's 50 feet, you don't want to use a 25-foot cord to go 50 feet if possible, because the further, depending on the size of the wire of the extension cord, the further that you send that electricity down that cord, especially if you coil it up on the ground, you will lose
a good
the effective usage of that cord. That is something that you got to be really, really careful about. And folks, these small cords that everybody uses, they are dangerous.
Definitely.
They are designed for temporary use. And then the other thing is to make sure that you're not using an indoor cord outdoors. That's another thing. Some cords are indoor, outdoor. Some cords are outdoor only, which can also be used indoor. But if they're specifically made for outdoor, and you're using it outdoor, that's something else that you want to be aware of. Now, also making sure it makes a good connection. Do not take the ground off of anything that you're plugging in. It's designed to have a ground on it. If you take it off, you're at risk. Surge protectors. Do not plug your heater into a surge protector. Do not do that. That is not a good thing to do. Good to see you this morning, Andre. Good to see you in here this morning, Sebastian. Good to see everybody with us this morning, Brother Dwayne, Debbie, Xavier. Good to see y'all. And a whole bunch of other folks joining us on the program. So making sure that you're using the appropriate size cord and the appropriate length of cord, and then making sure that connection is tight. And then if it is outside, making sure it's in a secured box to make sure. And again, extension cords are not designed for permanency. They're designed to do something temporarily and then to remove them and set them back up. I was at Weekend RV Center, and where your 1.5-inch pipe comes out of your gray water into your 3-inch sewer pipe, where your gray water valve and your black water valve are, that pipe is exposed. And so I have a young man coming on Monday that Weekend RV Center sending out to me to do a repair for me on my awning. And they sent me a heating pad that is designed to stick to that pipe, and then it wires directly into the 12-volt system. So it's designed to work off the 12-volt battery system in the RV. And I'm going to have him put that in to make sure that part of the pipes don't freeze.
because we have had a busted tank, and that is a nightmare. A busted tank is no good.
No good on that.
No good on that. It leaked everywhere, didn't it? What?
Yep.
Yes.
It went everywhere, and it was not fun.
It was no good. So
No.
we want to make sure that we're staying ahead of those things. We're going to take the next time out here at 15 after the hour. When we come back, more home improvement coming your way. We'd love to hear from you. 865-577-4885. 865-577-4885. We'll tell you how to message us when we get back.
Yep. We'll be right back, folks.
Now listen, if you've not been to Baker Boys, have y'all tried Baker Boys pizza yet? Oh my good gracious. Let me tell you something. It's on Cherry Street. If you get off on Cherry Street and turn toward Magnolia, and you'll see Baker Boys down there on the right. He's got a 30-inch pie like not even got in my van and got the door closed. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, a slice of pizza feed 10 kids. Baker Boys Pizza is the place. I'm telling y'all, go by and see them and tell them that we sent you, and they're going to take care of you. They're going to be proud to see you, and they're going to be glad to feed you and your family. Great place for after church on Sundays. Go by and see the team at Baker Boys Pizza and tell them that Rick's House sent you.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you, I know a little something about mobility issues. I know a little something about taking care of mom and dad and grandparents and things you do when you're supposed to. That's why I trust Chris and his team at Miracle Method. They've got a safety package. A safety package that converts that tub in your house. But the main thing is it's going to give them an easy step in. It's going to give them grab bars that are added right. It's going to give them the flexibility to have that independence. And you, the knowledge of knowing that you've taken care of mom and dad. Miracle Method. Find them online today. Miracle Method. 865-693-5522. For safety, it's a priority. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. Let me tell you about my friends at Knox Trail Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Piper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxtrailSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690. 865-599-1690.
Got a question? Rick's got the answers for all your home improvement questions. It's Rick's House. Home improvement advice done right.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House Live on Praise 96.3. Your Praise FM 96.3. Rick's House Live. And we're glad to be here, Vance and Wyatt and I, this Saturday morning. My computer says 22 degrees and sunny.
Yes.
That's kind of a oxymoron, isn't it? I'm telling you.
Yep.
What'd you call me?
I said I said that's an oxymoron.
Oh, okay, never mind.
All right, so I'm going to try to tell you just a little bit about this since I did not bring my glasses. I cannot believe I did. I keep a pair of reading glasses in the car.
It's okay. You didn't bring anything to read either.
Yeah, well, I've got it on my phone.
Yep.
Because I put it on my phone and then I put it, and that's the Miracle Method message line. That's the Rick's House business line, which you can get us if you want to message us on
yes
865-255-3911. That's how you get us, 865-255-3911. You can send us a message. Beamer is let me just see if I can read this here.
let's see
Beamer is
here.
about changing the way we think about our health, about challenging and understanding of the human body, and about empowering us to reach optimal physical condition. Blood flow plays a critical role in our general health. Beamer stimulates healthy muscles to improve and facilitate muscle performance. This stimulation temporarily improves local blood circulation, all in just 8 minutes twice a day. For more than 20 years, the benefits of Beamer, B-E-M-E-R, have impacted millions of people around the world. Beamer is an FDA-cleared consumer medical device that's non-invasive and easy to use. And that's the truth. It is,
Yes.
Beamer stands for Bioelectromagnetic Energy Regulation. Beamer is an FDA Class 2 cleared consumer medical device that during an 8-minute session sends a low-intensity pulse electromagnetic field to the body in order to safely stimulate healthy muscles, which temporarily enhances local blood flow, resulting in better disbursement of oxygen within the target tissues while supporting the elimination of CO2. Additional benefits from regular use of the Beamer may include reduced stress, improved relaxation, optimized physical performance, enhanced muscle conditioning and physical fitness, and a better overall feeling of well-being. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you, I am a believer. This was brought to me by a dear friend of mine who's on the program, as you know, Brother Jerry Cunningham from Cunningham Windows, Jerry Sr.
Very knowledgeable. Very nice.
Very nice
Professional.
gentleman. He's one of my mentors. He's someone who has helped me many, many times along the way and just done great stuff with us and have helped us to be as good as we can be and to do the things that we do. And I'm appreciative of having him as a guest. And Jerry was in a situation where he had, just couldn't walk because he has some of the same challenges that I have. And because of that, this therapy has helped him greatly. I have the pleasure of knowing Jim Vesper, who's been on this program and will continue to be on this program from Circulation Station. And my story is very similar to Jerry's, and we're going to continue to talk about that because this is something that's non-invasive. And I know that sounds kind of scary when you talk about it. This isn't snake oil and mirrors. This is the real thing. If you look at the professional athletes, the NFL Alumni Association endorses this. We've got dear friends in the horse world who they use this on their animals for recovery. Your top athletes in the world use it for recovery. It is, for me, something that has helped me and is also helping my wife. We're not saying this is a cure-all by any means, but we are saying it's something that can help you healthy. Now you say, well, gosh, I don't know about electromagnetic therapy. That sounds like that they got one of those big things in the junkyard with the magnet on it, and you put on a metal suit and they cling you up to it and swing you around. That.
I think that'd be more fun.
Yeah,
that would be fun. But
I get ready to say that might be a little bit more fun, but
yeah.
But no, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is something that has different intensities. They have a very strict program. Jim is an expert in the field and has went through all the training and everything that's required, and I'm learning too. Because I see such a difference in life-changing opportunities that it does for so many folks, and it can for you. One of the things I like about Circulation Station is that it creates
an opportunity for you to access this type of equipment affordably. And one of the things I really like about what Jim does, and this is something that I think is strong with the product itself, is if you have and want to find out if this particular type of therapy works for you, then he will give you 3 free sessions for you to try it and test it. Vance, you tried it.
I did.
I actually have one now that I'm utilizing, and Amy and I are. And then if you are a combat veteran, you are eligible through Circulation Station to have free sessions for life.
Wow.
Now that's strong.
Awesome. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yes, that is
I
good.
don't know any other folks that are doing things like that for our veterans. And so I appreciate that so much. But like I said, we'll be having Jim on a whole lot more. And we'll be talking a whole lot more about that therapy as it goes along. And as I continue to learn and become more engaged in the therapy itself, so I can talk to you about it and make sure that I'm giving you the correct information. That's why I'm limited. I don't want to tell you something that I want to only give you the truth of it. But so many people have their own stories, and we'll be having those folks on there that can help you. Now, the safety package that we've been talking about with our friends at Miracle Method, Chris and Emily and the whole gang over there is just, I'm seeing a lot of that on television because so many of us have aging parents or aunts or grandparents or uncles or whatever that may or may not need assistance or may still live at home or may live at home with you. And, there's a right way and a wrong way to make that bathroom safe and accessible. And that's what Chris and his team at Miracle Method are doing. And so we're so excited about having them on. I would ask you to reach out to them and let them come give you an estimate. Also, and I wanted to mention this, and I meant to mention this last week, but in their garage floor program, in the other commercial that we do for them, where we talk about the garage floor, Miracle Method has come up with a new system that's more affordable, more fantastic, and so forth, and he has that available. But keep in mind, when you ask somebody for an estimate over the phone, they're going to give you the very worst scenario possible. Typically, that's not going to be what it is. It's going to be, he's going to tell you, well, this is the absolute worst scenario if we have to do everything. Best thing is just let them come out, let them take a look at it, and then that way they can apprise your situation. And that's true with any of our sponsors. They can apprise your situation and let you know. But that is a new product that we looked at and that we're going to be having Chris on in the very near future, although it is wrestling, not wrestling. I say wrestling, RESTLIN.
Close enough.
Wrestling season. And so he's very involved in that. And if you've ever been involved, and I was fortunate that my wife did all of that with our children, because it's daylight to dark and then some during that season. And I was usually working and could only be there for short periods of time for the matches. So we appreciate those folks that do that. So Miracle Method, check them out. They'll help you with that. Not only will they change that tub, and that's the thing about it, the color of it. If you've got a steel tub in there, a cast iron tub, or you've got even a fiberglass tub, and there's nothing wrong with the tub. And typically those tubs that are older are thicker, heavier, better quality, actually, just to tell you the truth. They can come in and make that step over where they can cut that out and make a step over. You can fix it so you can have doors on it. I mean, you can just do everything, change the whole color of it, put a surface down on the bottom of it, and add those grab bars that are truly mounted for safety. So when you grab a hold of it, you've got something to grab a hold of. That's what we're talking about when we talk about the safety package. And be sure and tell them, all of our sponsors, when you talk to them, that you heard about it on Rick's House, because that's important that they know that what we're doing for them is helping them, but most of all, it's helping you. And that's the whole key, is that the things that we do help you. And if you have someone that we don't know about, that we need to talk about, we're happy to have them on
as a guest and learn about what they do. We'll do that. We offer that service just to get to know about somebody who's new and good and all those kinds of things. And so, you can always get that to me at rickshouseradio.com or rickshouseradio@gmail.com. You can leave a message for me at the station here. There's all kinds of ways. Send me a direct message me on Facebook. Send me something to the Rick's House program. I'm still trying to Facebook. I'm still trying to figure out how they do some of the things they do, because I'll get a message and don't know how to read it. So I'm going to have to get one of my grandchildren to show me, because the technology has passed me up. So there again, Miracle Method, great folks, great people. Y'all check them out. Vance, we need to take that next time out. When Wyatt and I come back, we're going to jump up back out on the home improvement train, talking a little bit about Christmas stuff.
There you go. Yep.
And
sure will.
We want to talk to you. Praise 96.3, 865-577-4885. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you, I know a little something about mobility issues. I know a little something about taking care of mom and dad and grandparents and things you do when you're supposed to. That's why I trust Chris and his team at Miracle Method. They've got a safety package. A safety package that converts that tub in your house. But the main thing is it's going to give them an easy step in. It's going to give them grab bars that are added right. It's going to give them the flexibility to have that independence, and you the knowledge of knowing that you've taken care of mom and dad. Miracle Method. Find them online today. Miracle Method, 865-693-5522. For safety is a priority. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show, right here on 96.3 FM, Praise FM. Let me tell you about my friends Tyler and Xavier and the team over at Weekend RV Center. Whether you're looking for sales or service or parts or storage, they're the team that can make that happen for you. I trust them. They've been there with me when we were on the road all over the United States, and they'll be there for you. They can work on your RV. They can take your RV in on a trade. They can sell you a new RV, but most of all, they're going to treat you like family. You're not dealing with some big corporation. You're dealing with local folk who want to do a great job and take care of you. Weekend RV Center, 865-457-4424, 865-457-4424, or find them online at weekendrvcenter.com. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690, 865-599-1690. Hey, y'all, being from the country, I've learned one thing for sure. The difference in experience can make the difference between a good job and a bad. That's why we choose August Excavation for all your excavation needs. Whether it's pouring a footing, laying out a footing, pouring a concrete driveway, excavating a basement, or whatever your excavation needs may be. August Excavating. Call them today, 423-736-1402. 423-736-1402.
Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House, live on Praise 96.3, your Praise FM 96.3. Rick's House, 8 to 10 Saturday morning. So glad to be here. Thank you for joining us on the program. My partner today is my nephew Wyatt, who's helping me today. We
Yep.
got lots of stuff to do today, don't we, little buddy?
Yes, we do.
We do. We got projects to work on. We're finishing up those electric hoses and making sure we got them fit the way that they need to be. We got to go by Knoxville Salvage and check out some stuff over there. And then got to get all that done and back over to the house and ready for the ball game. As Tennessee Vols visit Vanderbilt to see if they can get it done. Do what?
Yep.
Tell me on there.
What time is that game?
Noon.
Noon. Oh.
Yeah, it's at noon. Yeah, it's at
Yep.
straight up noon. I just heard from the very lovely and talented Mrs. Rick's house, and she has a pot of vegetable beef soup on. Yes, delicious. I knew you'd turn your nose up at
sounds
that.
Great.
I knew you'd turn your nose. You are not from Tennessee. I don't know where did they find you? Your mom and dad find you under a cabbage plant somewhere?
It's under a rock.
If you don't like cornbread and you don't do you like cornbread?
I like to look at it.
Oh, do you enjoy it?
It's refreshing to look at.
Yeah. Here, meat.
I like it in a glass of milk.
Do you? Okay.
Well, I used to.
Meat, white cheese, and taters, and you're good.
Throw a little bit of rice and chicken in there. Yeah.
Little rice and chicken. That's right.
With
With
that-
white
with that-
cheese sauce.
with that queso. Yeah.
With the queso on it. And you're good to go. Speaking of that, our friends at Cancun and Senor Taco, man, what a great job they do with the queso. I'm just telling you, there are restaurants all over the place in town. They're popping up everywhere. But man, our friends, we've been eating there 20-something years at Senor Taco, and then of course Nelson runs Cancun out in Halls, and what a great job that they do. If you're looking for a great meal, go out there and tell them Rick's House sent you. You'll get a great Mexican meal, and they'll take awesome care of you. And they got the best seafood. Seafood, I love seafood. I bet you don't like seafood, do you, Vance?
Crab legs.
Do you like crab legs?
Yeah, I
really?
do. Oh, yeah.
Crab legs.
I'll
are
go for
delicious.
them crab legs too, Vance.
By the time you work to get the meat out,
you're tired.
You're hungry and tired. Yeah.
I'll have to go with you on that, brother. That's the truth.
I will
But
too.
all that stuff is good. Now, talking about putting these lights and things up that we're getting ready for Christmas, and one of the things we used to do when we were building houses is we ended up putting and I don't know who suggested this to me, but it was just a little extra something that we did when we built a house. We would actually put we would mount an outdoor GFI outlet box in the eave, right up in the gable.
It's a great idea.
So that you had a place to plug in.
Also put a switch on the inside, just flip the switch and all your lights come on.
That's an even better idea.
That'll work.
Got a brother-in-law that used to did that at his house.
No, that's a great idea. That's an even better idea. So it's having nothing wrong with doing all those exterior things, but you got to have it set up like Christmas with the cranks, where he plugs it in and blows frosty off the top of the roof and all that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with doing that stuff, but you got to just make sure that you do it properly and that you have the right stuff, because nothing's worse than a fire at Christmas.
Yeah.
And also, if you're going to use a live tree, I suggest making sure that you talk to the folks that you get that from.
And don't buy it in October.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's a torch is what that can be. But if you use it and do it properly, when the kids were little, we used to cut our own tree down. We'd go on the farm and cut the tree down, and I'd watch them drag it in. That was fun. When I
don't remember doing that.
When I was a young man, I would carry it for them when they were little.
Heck,
Then
I
when
used
them
to
big
do
old
that
strap,
too.
you used to do that too, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and my sister would always go and cut the tree down and just carry it in the house.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
If you gonna
Right
put
out
your
of the front
tree up
yard.
soon?
I hope so.
Oh yeah, Wyatt's getting ready. He's getting ready for Santa. He knows. He
We
knows.
put up a
what's
weeping willow one year.
A weeping willow.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not.
Okay, I was getting ready to say. Okay, how'd that work out with all that sap?
Well,
Yeah, how'd that work?
So as you do that, just think about and with any project that you're doing, and we talk about this on Rick's House all the time, and that we're kind of all over the place today because I left my notes at home. But that's we're working out of my mind, which is scary.
Yeah,
there's about 200 shows running around up in there.
Stop that right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll leave you dazed and confused.
Ooh, good song.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on up there that we've done so many shows over the years, and we're so thankful. This being our 24th year, getting ready to go into our 25th year in January of doing Rick's House, and we're so thankful that y'all put up with us that long, and you allow us to come into your homes and hopefully entertain you a little, but give you some stuff that'll help you along the way. But just making sure that you're utilizing safety as you're putting these things up, whether it's stuff out in the yard and just going through those lists of things for extension cords that we talked about, and also not overloading a circuit. Your circuits are designed for a certain number of things.
Put an electric strip and just plug everything in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not a good idea.
No.
Yeah, no, we don't need to do that again.
And really and truly, one of the things, I know I said this earlier, but I really want to emphasize today is do not, your major things that you use, like your air fryer, your heaters, blow dryers, coffee pots, all those things that pull a lot of wattage, they have to be plugged directly into an outlet. You cannot run those things off of an extension cord. It's dangerous. A surge protector is it's a surge protector, but it is not designed to carry a heater. You can't do it. It'll burn to the ground before it kicks off. And a loose connection, even though we had on the travel trailer, we had, the horses had come by or I'd come by or something had happened, loosened the connection just a little bit. You got to check those things.
Yeah.
And it got just a little loose, and it got hot, and it burned it. And so we had to change all that out. A loose connection is a dangerous thing. Don't do electricity yourself, y'all. Hire a professional. You got there's certain things that you don't have any business doing, and don't let do it yourself become do it to yourself and set you on fire. We don't want that.
Yeah, no.
We do, we White.
No, we don't.
Call Lance.
Just call Lance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Busy Bee, electric and plumbing. Mostly plumbing, but he does electric too. So he'll take care of that for you as well. So there again, making sure of that. And then the maintenance of your tree. Just if you do have live tree, make sure you keep the water in there, making sure that it's not drying out on you. And that you're getting those bristles picked up and needles and those things that are tender and that they can be a fire hazard for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, we need to get one of those light people on that do lights and Christmas.
I agree.
I'm going to work on that this week. See if we can get somebody. I think I know a guy that's doing that. I see those trucks all over the place.
Yeah.
And how are they attaching that? It'd be interesting to know how they're attaching that to the roof. And
definitely.
Speaking of trucks,
yes, sir.
Vehicles and Christmas lights. I've seen luggage racks with Christmas lights wrapped around them.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that.
I don't know how they do that.
I got passed by a Dodge Challenger the other day on the interstate, like I was tied to a tree. And if there was everything on that car that required paint was covered in lights.
Really?
The entire body
Holy crap.
was covered in lights. It's like, it was like, totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, it was like a net of lights had been laid across that car, and it probably had, but
makes you wonder how they run it off of DC, because electricity is not my thing, and I'll tell you straight up right away, right out of the gate, that is not my thing. That is not what I do. Don't understand who, what, when, where, and how that happens. But there are those who do, and there are those who can make that happen. And obviously, get to a professional, know a guy that does that and is very good at it. Got a cousin that does it down in Cookville, and he's very good at it, but that's beyond my expertise. But I think it's cool. I don't know how they mount them and get them to stick. And of course, this time of year, if you haven't done it already, you have to be thinking about underpinning on. If you're in that camper and you're winter camping, you got to be thinking about that underpinning as we go into a week of 20s. And thinking about that, whether you have a 4-season camper or a 3-season camper. And what we mean by that is a camper that's designed to go through winter. That's an issue that we have to be concerned with. So making those things. Now I'm going to have Miracle Method out to my house because my wife was telling me about a problem that we have. And I'm going to have to get them out there. I'm going to tell you what they can do for you at your house And this is in our travel trailer that we're going to talk about that coming up. It's amazing what can be done if you have the skills and the knowledge and the tools to do so. We're going to take the last time out here before the top of the hour, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show, right here on 96.3 FM, Praise FM. Let me tell you about my friends Tyler and Xavier and the team over at Weekend RV Center. Whether you're looking for sales or service or parts or storage, they're the team that can make that happen for you. I trust them. They've been there with me when we were on the road all over the United States, and they'll be there for you. They can work on your RV. They can take your RV in on a trade. They can sell you a new RV, but most of all, they're going to treat you like family. You're not dealing with some big corporation. You're dealing with local folk who want to do a great job and take care of you. Weekend RV Center, 865-457-4424, 865-457-4424, or find them online at weekendrvcenter.com. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knox Trail Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Popper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxtrailSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690, 865-599-1690.
Want the good, the bad, and the ugly of home improvement? You found it. This is Rick's House.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome back to Rick's House Live on Praise 96.3, your Praise FM 96.3. Don't forget about my friend Anita at Cozy Mountain Cabins. I think she's still got some cabins available for Christmas. If you want to bring the family in, she's got some that sleep 2 and some that sleep 20. So whatever you need there, you can tell her, and be a great time to come in and enjoy our beautiful Smoky Mountains while you're getting time to spend with your family. And give Anita a shout. Look her up at Cozy with a Z, CozyMountainCabins.com. Now, we're talking a little bit about some of the precautions that you should take, and I want to give you a list. We've talked about using the right extension cord, and obviously you want to use a heavy-duty extension cord that's rated for outdoor use. That's what we've talked about, and you don't want to overload that cord. That's important. Also, you want to plug that into a GFCI outlet, which gives you that additional protection, which means the GFI, as we call them, or GFCI outdoor lights in that outlet will cause it to kick if it gets a quick short or water or something of that nature, so that it's not dangerous. You want to absolutely use that. Here's something that we've not talked about, a couple things. And people ask me all the time, Rick, when you leave on vacation, do you turn your water off? Yeah, I do. When I leave on vacation and it's not wintertime and I don't have to run my heat, I turn my gas off, because why take a chance? I had some folks that went on vacation and come back and their washing machine supply line burst, and 55,000 gallons of water went through their house. And that is an absolute disaster. And that's just something that you don't want to deal with. So you want to make sure and do that. So make sure, and when you leave, unplug your lights. If it's in a place that you can do, and you want to inspect those lights. If you're trying to reuse those ones that you used last year and the year before and all that, you want to make sure before you hang them that you check for frayed wires, broken bulbs, loose connections, any other damage that you may see. And replace any damaged bulbs with the ones of the same wattage.
That's great advice. Too many people just throw them up.
They just throw them up. Don't even look at them. And so you don't realize you got a problem. And so a little preparation on the front end will help you with that. Now, here's something that I think is good too. Of course, using timers and remotes, that's always a great thing. And choose outdoor lights, choose weatherproof lights. Make sure that you have ones that are rated for outdoors when you utilize those. The other thing is ladder safety.
That's a big one.
You want to use a wood or fiberglass ladder instead of a metal ladder, which can conduct electricity. You also want to make sure there's two things that every extension ladder should have on it. It should have a brace at the top that looks like a big C, so that it's pushed, so that it's stabilizing. That's called a stabilizer. It's stabilizing that ladder so it's not going to fall left, fall right. It's not going to be against your gutter and dent it. It's not going to do that. And then also they make a little ladder extension that you put on one side so that you can extend it down and adjust it to the height that keeps that ladder from twisting or leaning out of the way. Both of those are great items that you need to put on your ladder. That one. Yeah, it's a little, it just mounts to one of the legs, and then you just push it and the bar comes down till it hits something solid.
Yeah.
And don't reach in the flower bed and grab a rock.
No.
And stick up under it or a piece of brick or something like that. Be prepared to have something for it to sit on. But with that ladder safety, it'll go right on the ground because you don't want that ladder to kick out away from you. I've told this story many times. Had a dear friend that was going to play golf one morning. His house was immaculate on the outside. That was his thing. Yard was immaculate. And I'm talking about getting down, trimming it with scissors, immaculate. It was that nice. And he run outside, was excited about playing golf, sitting waiting on his buddy to come pick him up. And he's out there, got his golf bag and everything. Looks up in the gutter and sees a tree. A little sprig of a tree coming up, and he's thinking, well, I got time to do that. Runs in the garage, throws the ladder up. It's not real stable.
Yeah.
He's thinking, I'll just climb up there and this was on the tall end of the house. And he's thinking, well, I'll just climb up there. And I've done this. I've been guilty of it. I mean, don't do it, but I've been guilty of it. Gets up to the top and he's trying to get this tree out, this little tree sapling out of the gutter, and the ladder starts sliding. Well, he fell off of that ladder, off that extension ladder from the second story. And when he hit the ground, it crushed every bone in his foot and his ankle up into his shin. He wore a complete leg cast for a year. Took him almost 3 years of rehabilitation before he could ever play golf again.
Wow.
All over a little tree sapling and getting in a hurry. That's what causes this. When I get in a hurry sometimes. I got in a hurry on something I was doing this weekend and fortunately I thought ahead and was enough to where it didn't end up being a disaster. But that kind of stuff happens. You got to be careful. Do not, and we've talked about this, don't plug too many lights into the outlet and overload it. That is terrible. And here's something that we don't think about. Use flame retardant decorations, flame retardant that are coated for that. Make sure trees and other decorations are flame retardant or non-flammable. And then, of course, keep decorations away from heat.
Yep, definitely.
And do not use lit candles unless you're watching them.
Yeah, don't light those and then walk away.
Don't light them and walk away. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Those are things to look for.
Yeah, very bad.
And so, a few things down the list that we wanted to share with you about making it safe. Let's see if I can tell you what the name of that stabilizer is. Let's see right here. Indoor outdoor lights. If it has a specific name, I call it I call it ladder leg and ladder brace. That's what I call it. But again, you know, I'm sure it has a technical name on there that I don't know right off the top of my head. But I guarantee you, if you go to your local hardware store or big box store, they can help you with that. And it's not very expensive, and it's certainly not very expensive when it keeps you from having to be broke or broken bones or incapacitated for a period of time. All that stuff is important when you're using safety. You know, any project you're doing, whether it's Christmas lights or whether it's a new kitchen or whether it's building a house, get you a good number 2 pencil, get you a pad, start writing down. You will work through more problems by building that project or doing that project on paper than you can save yourself so much time and money, and also save yourself additional trips back to the big box store or the home improvement store or the hardware store just by simply thinking through the project and not letting do it yourself become do it to yourself. And that's our motto here on Rick's House. Don't let do it yourself become do it to yourself. That's an important part of what we do. Do we have a top of the hour timeout, Vance?
No.
Okay. So we're going for a couple more minutes then.
Yes.
Okay. Be sure.
We've got about 3-4 minutes.
Okay. Be sure and tell the folks that we sent you when you talk to our sponsors, whether it's Cancun Mexican Restaurant and Halls or Senor Taco on Broadway or Top Septic, August Excavation, Miracle Method of Knoxville, Knox-Rail Salvage, Old City Kitchens, all the fine sponsors that we represent. Circulation Station, Jim Vesper and the team, one in Tellico Village, one out in Maryville. I'm sure I'm forgetting folks that I shouldn't be. Cozy Mountain Cabins. We got to always mention Anita and the team over there and what they do. Busy Bee Plumbing and Electric, Lance and his team, and Miss Deanna over there as well. Baker Boy Pizza, fantastic place for you to visit. Grab a pizza, grab some wings. Vance loves those wings, or those what they call them breadsticks, Vance.
Rolling pins.
Rolling pins,
and they're about the size of a rolling.
They
pin.
are about the size of a rolling pin. So as we let you know about these folks, let them know that you, and of course Weekend RV Center. We can't forget Weekend RV Center for all your RV and needs. And which, did you send me something?
No, I didn't send you anything, but I found something. There's
lay it on me.
A ladder leveler stabilizer.
Yep.
They can be used to level your ladder up on steps.
Yep.
And it can also brace your ladder.
Yeah. Does it say how much it is?
Does it?
This one's $144 for 2.
144 for 2. So
yeah.
I mean, that's a great deal. I mean,
that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I'm still living in the 80s. I think if it's over $50, it's, but that's not the way it is anymore. It's those things are expensive in some capacity, but they are much well worth it to save you from having those things that cause you to be distressed and or hurt. We don't want that. Bad Christmas when you're in a cast. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it is. Also, it's $144, but if you've got the Amazon card, of course, every 2 weeks you pay $36.25 times 4, and you're done.
Oh, that's a good deal. Amazon, and did you notice they got the Amazon thing opened over at Easttown?
Yeah, they do.
Excuse me, Knoxville Center.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. It's not Easttown. Of course, it's Easttown.
Well, it'll always be Easttown.
It'll always be Easttown because that's what it started.
No.
Have you seen those vans? Aren't those weird looking? They look like
electric. Electric vans. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like something out of the space Jetson kind of movie thing. They're but I see those things everywhere. So we hope that you're spending time with your family. We hope that you've enjoyed your holiday and continue to enjoy it. Wrap your arms around those people that you love and tell them you love them, whether it's a friend, whether it's your family, and let them know that you're glad to be with them and enjoy the time you have with them, because you just don't never know. It could be the last time. And so God bless you. We'll be back here next Saturday from 8 to 10 right here on your Praise 96.3 Praise FM. It's Rick's house. Tell them we'll see them next week. Wyatt.
We'll see you guys next week.
All righty. God bless you. See you then.
From the Banks & Jones Attorneys Play to Win studios at banksandjones.com, this is your Praise 96.3 WJBZ FM, Seymour, Knoxville.